Welcome back to USA News Hub. Here, we bring you the latest updates, highlights, and breaking news from the world of sports. Stay tuned as we dive into today's top stories and key moments you don't want to miss. Who will emerge victorious in the battle for AFC North supremacy, Joe Flacco or the Cleveland Browns? Tune in to witness the showdown. Who's in charge of the AFC North? Maybe Joe Flacco. And the Cleveland Browns Week 18. January 4th, 2026. Sunday Night Football. Joe Flacco vs. Shedeur Sanders, flexed into prime time at Cincinnati's Paycor Stadium with the AFC North title hanging in the balance. Okay, maybe this crystal ball is about as accurate as Flacco was with his previous team. But after watching the Bengals' new/temporary/galvanizing/graybeard QB1 knock off the first-place Pittsburgh Steelers 33-31 on Thursday night while ending his latest club's four-game slide, it's already worth wondering. Are the lowly Cleveland Browns ultimately going to determine their division's champion? Steelers coach Mike Tomlin already gave the notion credence, seeing it coming from a mile away when he uncharacteristically lashed out Monday. Andrew Berry must be a lot smarter than me or us. Because it doesn't make sense to me to trade a quarterback that you think enough of to make your opening day starter to a division opponent that's hurting in that area, Tomlin said of Cleveland's general manager, who traded Flacco to the Joe Burrow-less Bengals last week. But that's just my personal feeling. NFL Stat Central. The latest NFL scores, schedules, odds, stats, and more. And it probably was a little bit personal. Tomlin, the NFL's longest-tenured coach, hired by Pittsburgh in 2007, has been combating Flacco, 40, with mixed results, for most of the past 18 seasons. The still strong-armed Super Bowl 47 MVP has now faced the Steelers 26 times in his career, playoffs included, and, yep, he's been on the winning side against Tomlin 13 times. The Steelers coach was more circumspect amid the fresh Flacco fallout Thursday night. They did what was required to win, they made a few more plays than we did, Tomlin said of the Bengals. I'd be remiss if I didn't compliment them, they fought their tails off. But you think he and the Steelers wouldn't have preferred the opportunity to work over Jake Browning, who was mostly abysmal in his 3 starts following the Week 2 toe injury Burrow sustained and is now trying to come back from, potentially at some point in December. Flacco clearly enjoyed this latest chapter with Pittsburgh, saying Thursday night that many of his football war stories involve losses to the Steelers. I have so much respect for Mike and the battle that we've had, said Flacco as a smile broke across his face at the post-game podium. I always find a way to play them. I love playing them. Those games against those guys, like in my career, those games have been different than others, just the physicality and the energy. Nothing but respect for Tomlin. The question now becomes, have the Browns irreversibly minus maybe even disrespectfully minus changed the AFC North stripes in 2025? Consider, play button the Bengals seem to have a new lease on life, starting a 3-game homestand with Thursday's win. Now, they can enjoy a 10-day interlude before hosting the winless New York Jets, with the Chicago Bears up after that. After a Week 10 bye, the Flacco-full, Browning-less Bengals go to Pittsburgh, where they generally give the Steelers more problems than they typically do in Cincinnati. Play button the Bengals schedule serves up Flacco's original team, the Baltimore Ravens, in Week 13, Thanksgiving, and 15, by which point Burrow could be close to a return. Unless Flacco is the better option. Regardless, there's now renewed hope -4 both teams minus that those could now be relevant matchups. Play button and to extrapolate this just a bit more, Cleveland will face all of its divisional adversaries once more this season, including the Steelers in Week 17 and the Bengals in the regular season finale. And the Browns obviously won't be helmed by Flacco, who rolled off the couch to spark them to the playoffs in 2023 but struggled mightily last month while trying to operate a limited offense. Moving forward, Cleveland will instead presumably still be evaluating rookie QB Dillon Gabriel and/or Sanders, arguably the highest profile of their players, if one who hasn't taken a regular season snap. However, owner Jimmy Haslam has expressed a desire to see Sanders play at some point. Meanwhile, the Steelers will have to hope 41-year-old quarterback Aaron Rodgers remains upright and can continue to dink and dunk Pittsburgh to the division crown. The Ravens hope their prodigiously talented roster, namely 2-time MVP Lamar Jackson, can be sufficiently healthy down the stretch to salvage the season following a stunning, injury-marred 1-5 start. The Bengals, who finally left the gate 2-0 for the first time in the Burrow era, will have to hope he can get back, right? to trigger the high-powered offense he advocated for before Cincy's historically miserly front office essentially bet most of its cap space that Burrow and wideouts Jamar Chase and T. Higgins could finally lead this 57-year-old franchise out of the jungle and to Lombardi land. That's all for today's update on USA News Hub. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with the latest sports news and highlights from around the world.